In less than 24 hours, the Formula One 2021 season begins in Bahrain. My predictions for the Constructors title coming up on this edition of Post Checkered Flag. What's up, everybody? Mike from LA1 here. Welcome back to the first F1 edition of Post Checkered Flag. But this time it's going to be a little different because this is the first one covering the Formula One. This will be my first full season talking about Formula One here on this channel. Of course, this is the predictions video, so this is going to be very interesting to see where this goes. Looking forward to watching the race. And, yeah, looking forward to watching all the races this year. Probably on ESPN too, so it'll probably be like 2 in the afternoon. And there'll be another post-checker flag talking about the Atlanta races. I'll be talking about that in the next video. Because, boy, tomorrow's going to be pretty busy. Because I believe in less than 12 hours from now, by the time this video gets posted, they're going to start the final practice and qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So, we're going to get this going. Let's talk about predictions, shall we? Okay. Predictions. Okay, now this one's probably going to be we're going to start from 10th to 1st. Okay, in 10th place, I know this one's probably going to be a bit controversial. It's Williams. Even though the Williams paint scheme, I actually do like the paint scheme on this car. Which, by the way, when the game comes out, when F1 2021 comes out, I'll be doing all my reviews on this of my favorite liveries. Since I failed to miss them, I do apologize for that. But yeah, I don't know how this car is gonna work out. But to be honest, I could see George Russell getting several points for the Williams team. Latifi, I don't know what Nicholas Latifi's gonna do. So we're gonna see where this goes. Yeah, I have Williams in last. In 9th place in the Constructors, this one might be controversial. Alfa Romeo. This could be a rather difficult choice on this one. Even though the paint scheme is practically flipped, and we'll get to that shortly. But yeah, I could definitely see a changing of the guard for Alfa Romeo because this could be the last year Alfa Romeo is on this car. It'll be going back to Sauber, possibly. So, yeah, Kimi and Antonio, I don't know if they can pull it off, but if they can pull off multiple points, that'll be fantastic. And we can see where this goes. And in 8th, we have Haas. Now, this one is rather difficult because I had a hard time putting Haas on Alfa Romeo right here, but I have a strange feeling if there's going to be points from Haas, it's going to be from Mick Schumacher. As for driver redacted Nikita Mazepin, thing is, here's the thing. I've been watching some of the highlights from last year's F2 season, and to be honest with you guys, I just don't think his driving style fits this generation of Formula One. If this was during the time where Michael Schumacher was driving, he would have fit right in. But I don't think his driving style fits this generation of Formula One. His driving style is just better fit in North America, in IndyCar and or NASCAR. And that's not even getting to his off-track antics. Hopefully, if he can stay clean, this could be a rather interesting team to watch. But, however, if he does something incredibly stupid, there is a driver I'm looking at that could replace him, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So yeah, I have Haas at 8th, but knowing my luck, they're going to be 9th and 10th, or 10th. 7th. I think this is going to go to AlphaTauri. with the driver lineup of Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. Yeah, right at the end of the Abu Dhabi, everyone was thinking at the last race in Bahrain, is Yuki Tsunoda going to get enough super license points to get the car? And of course he did. That win at the Bahrain Grand Prix, literally the day before the last year's Bahrain Grand Prix, which we're not going to talk about. But here's the thing. Is lightning going to strike twice for AlphaTauri? Are we going to see this team win another race? My answer is probably not. But if they win again, that'll be terrific. And that'll be a great way for Honda to go out. But it's probably going to be Red Bull, probably. And now, we have one. Now, here's a driver we need to talk about. And that's Pierre Gasly. He signed a 1-year extension on his contract. And honestly, to be perfectly honest, I don't think he's going to be back at AlphaTauri next year. There's no way. Because Red Bull must have had a fallout after what happened at Red Bull. So, I know a lot of people are having him going to Alpine to replace Esteban Ocon. But I think there's another place that not many people are talking about. Going back to Nikita Mazepin for a second. If Mazepin does something incredibly stupid and the FIA bans him entirely, I could very well see Pierre Gasly jumping to Haas. That's what I think what's going to happen here. So yeah, AlphaTauri in 7th. All right, in 6th, this one might be this one again might be controversial. I have Aston Martin in 6th. And boy, the Aston Martin made a really good strides last year, with the highlight being Sergio Perez finally getting his first win, and Sir Lancelot getting multiple podiums for the first time in his career. And I know a lot of people, myself included, are expecting him to want to see him win a race, which will be amazing. But here's the thing. How is Lance going to do against Sebastian Vettel? This is probably going to be Lance's toughest task to date since he moved over from Williams to the Aston Martin team that his dad now owns. Now, I should say this will be probably his toughest test in Formula One, period. You're going up against Sebastian Vettel, of all people. If he could give Vettel a run for his money, this could be a successful pairing. If not, I don't know where Vettel has to go. And while we're on the subject of Sebastian Vettel, we all knew last season his time at Ferrari last year was not good because, let's be honest, the car sucked. But if this is the time for him to see him have a bounce-back season, this year would be it. Because now, this could be an interesting scenario for him. Although, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be really weird seeing him with a Mercedes logo on his fire suit. So, yep, Aston Martin in 6th. Okay, in 5th, we have Alpine, formerly known as Renault. And which, by the way, I should mention, got my first bit of Formula One merch several days ago. Boom, baby. Got Renault merch. Got a shirt and a hat. You'll be seeing that in a few days' time. Featuring the returning Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Now, here's the thing with Esteban. He might be on the hot seat right now, because all the rumors of Gasly possibly moving to Alpine, although I said I think he's probably better going to Haas if Mazepin screws up. If Ocon maintain some of that momentum at the end of last season, including his first ever podium, I could definitely see him sticking around. Where is he going to go is my next guess. So yeah, in 6th, in 5th place is Alpine. And in 4th place, we have Ferrari. The Scuderia Ferrari. And this will be the first year that Charles Leclerc is technically the first driver for Ferrari, along with Mr. Smooth Operator himself, Carlos Sainz. And yes, I still think this is a weird fit. Although, to be fair, Carlos's run at Monza showed how much, and right near the end of the season, showed there's potential here that could hopefully get Ferrari back on track. If their team principal is saying that their engines are as good as they think they are, which I bet it won't, I could see them bouncing back big time here. But I'm putting him in 5th. I'm putting him in 4th. But this is next to Haas. This is probably the one I'm expecting to backfire loyally. And let's be honest, Carlos is in pretty much in a borrowed time because, let's be honest, Ferrari wants Mick Schumacher in this red car as soon as possible. Or, who knows, maybe it could be Callum Ilott. Who knows? Yep, Ferrari in 4th. Okay, let's talk in 3rd. And I think this one, a lot of you guys were not expecting to see this happening up here. McLaren, 3rd place. And to be honest, I'm expecting a couple of victories from McLaren this year. One from Danny Ricciardo, but I expect multiple for Lando Norris, the leader of Quadrant himself. Of course, last year he shocked pretty much the auto racing world by getting his first podium in Austria, which, to be honest, it's going to be definitely a feel-good story, and arguably one of the best feel-good stories of the F1 in a very long time, along with Gasly's first win and Checo's first win, and we'll get to that. And to be honest, the car that McLaren had isn't much different that we usually see. The only difference is now has a Mercedes engine instead of Renault. So this is going to be interesting to see going forward where McLaren goes in. And honestly, come 22, I expect the classic silver car to come back in my eyes. I really hope we do see that. Please. Can we get the silver car to come back? Pretty please. Alright, let's get to the two obvious ones. And to be honest, I would not be shocked if this actually is this Constructors title between these two are close. Let's talk about my 2nd place team, Red Bull. Of course, Max Verstappen. This could be his best chance of winning the driver's world title. And now he has an even tougher challenge with Alex Albon getting shown the door. Unfortunately. Now we have Sergio Perez getting the best ride of his career. Now it's going to be interesting to see where does Red Bull go from Red Bull, because so far those Red Bulls are looking really fast. But my concern is it good enough to beat Mercedes? Yeah, spoiler alert, they might pick to win the World Championship for the 8th year in a row. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. It's going to be a long season, and not to mention we're getting Monaco back this year. Thank God. So, yep. I expect Red Bull to be in like 10 points behind Mercedes. Well, let's talk about the Mercedes. Yes, that's right. For the 8th year in a row, I'm predicting that Mercedes wins the Drivers' World Championship. And let's be honest, we all know where this is going. Lewis Hamilton is my pick to win the Drivers' Championship for the 8th year, breaking Michael Schumacher's record. Although, I'm probably not going to say it, But this may very also be the last season for Mr. to whom it may concern, Valtteri Bottas' last year in the Mercedes car, because I still have a feeling if things work out with his development, George Russell may very well make his way to the Mercedes team. Meaning, we may see a driver swap between Williams and the Mercedes team where Bottas goes back to Williams and Russell takes his seat. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see the free agency market for next season. So yeah, Mercedes is going to get the world title sweep once again, unless Mercedes blows it, which I don't think that's going to happen yet until the new regulations come back next season. Boy, it's just a coincidence that NASCAR has the next gen car coming out next year, the same time that the new regulations for F1 is going to take place. Hopefully, these new regulations can make it easier and hopefully put an end to Mercedes' dominance. Or at least that's the hope. Alright, so that's going to do it for the first ever post-checker flag for F1 My Predictions video. Come back in the next few days while I'll talk about who made the points as well as my overall thoughts on the Bahrain Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, everyone.